Hi, my name is CK. New Jersey prosecutors said a police officer sent sexually explicit texts to an 18-year-old. The New Jersey cop, Damien Broschart, is facing multiple charges and might lose his job if convicted. According to state prosecutors, Broschart sent the text just hours after he arrested the woman. The Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office announced on October 29th that Damien Broschart, age 29, is being charged with cyber harassment. Broschart is an officer with the Neptune City Police Department who has been suspended from his role without pay. The police department launched an investigation into Broschart's conduct after the woman revealed he texted her hours after her arrest. The woman was arrested earlier in October. Upon her process and release, Broschart drove her back to her car and turned off his body cam equipment. And this is according to the prosecutor's office. He then asked the woman for her phone number. That's where they messed up. Her giving her phone number, maybe she was scared, maybe she was interested, maybe she didn't think anything of it. But anytime someone is asking you for your phone number, it means they want to be romantic. She made a choice, he made a choice, and now we're here. Broschart sent the woman text messages calling her cute and saying he'd like to pay her back. After the first round of messages, Broschart's text became sexually explicit, with the New Jersey officer offering to meet with the woman at her home after his shift. There's always, let's say, men who are trying to send privacy pictures to people. Once someone starts to use suggestive language, you can't be friendly with them if you're not interested, because they're going to up the ante. And usually when a guy approaches a woman, what he has on his mind is sex. If he starts using innuendos and you're thinking, oh, it's cute, it's harmless, it's always going to escalate. The longer it takes for you to communicate that you don't like this type of talk or discussion, or you don't communicate what you want, it's always going to escalate, and then it's going to get to something crazy. Now, I'm not victim blaming here. I'm just saying that the sooner you nip it in the bud, or the sooner you correct something or you stop something, the less you have to endure. Now, if you're like, well, I can take care of myself, I'm good. If it gets to a point where I'm uncomfortable, then I'll say something, then it is what it is. At this point, the woman blocked his number. Broschart began to repeatedly call her from his office at the police department. Quote, "This type of behavior will not be tolerated and has no place within the Neptune City Police Department and the entire law enforcement community," as according to Neptune City Police Chief Matthew Quaglito in a statement. Quote, "Although Broschart's actions were completely unacceptable, this incident does not reflect on the great work done on a daily basis by the remaining officers of the Neptune City Police Department. Prosecutors are also charging him with hindering apprehension of oneself, a law that prohibits people from interfering with someone's apprehension or prosecution. If Broschart is convicted on this charge, he could face up to 5 years of prison time. A cyber harassment conviction could land him a year and a half in jail." In a statement to NewJersey.com, Broschart's attorney said Broschart denies all allegations. Quote, "I will evaluate the information gathered by the state when it is provided and formulate his defense accordingly," according to defense attorney Richard Incremano. If convicted, Broschart could lose his job. A statement from the prosecutor's office reads, quote, "Although there is a presumption of non-incarceration for first-time offenders with no criminal records in New Jersey, an emphasis has been placed on seeking resolutions on such cases that ensures that police officers who engaged in criminal conduct forfeit their public positions." When trying to approach a woman for romantic or intimate relations, it's best to just kind of take it slow, trying to go head first with innuendos, with privacy picture pics, it just doesn't end well. You really have a better chance at going through the normal process of dating and then seeing if it leads to the bedroom. Then you show yourself. But sending pictures and text messages, all that is evidence. And that goes for anyone who has a job, anyone who has a business, investments. If you have stuff to lose, you got to stop with all of this evidence you're leaving behind, trying to holler at these people and have these one night stands and stuff like that. Because even though you may be talking to someone and they are accepting your advances, they're reciprocating the energy, you think it's all good, for all you know, this person is just bored, or this person is setting you up. In this story, it doesn't even say why she was arrested. And then the charges were dropped and he took her back to her vehicle. She's probably upset that her time was wasted. You as a man, when you approach a woman, you don't know what she's been through, you don't know what she's going through, you don't know what she has going on. Because see, when you approach her, it's clear what your intentions are. You're sexually attracted to her. The ball is in her court. Now with her, she could be like, I'm gonna set this dude up. Or she could say, well, you know what, I'm gonna try to get money out of him, or I'm gonna give him my other phone number so my husband or my live-in boyfriend doesn't know. And you might be thinking, well, that stuff doesn't really happen, but it does. You'd be surprised. You can't go off of how someone looks. You can't go off of how beautiful she is, how nice she talks, how good she looks. You can't go off of that. Some of the nicest people, they look nice because they're kind of like black widows, where you go to talk to them and you're being set up the whole time. She's arrested, her time is taken away from her, she's released, and then you taking her back to her car thinking that you can go ahead and maybe try to poke later. Joke's on you, because she might have been having this back and forth with you through text message only, email only, because she wanted evidence to take you down. And now, after she's taken you down, now she's gonna sue the police department and the city, so she gets the last laugh, and it's because she basically set you up. We gotta stop thinking with the wrong head and think with our actual brain. When you approach someone, especially if you're in the capacity of your job, whether you're working in the office, an office setting in corporate America, you have whatever job, you see someone who looks good, you go to approach her or him. Whoever does the approaching, your intentions are made clear. There's no doubt. However, the person receiving the attention, at that moment, they're thinking, okay, I was having a problem paying my rent, I'm gonna get it out of him. This is my competition for the promotion, let me go ahead and set him up now. Or it could be, you know what, I needed a place to stay tonight, let me go holler at this girl who's infatuated with me to try to get a place to stay for the night. So the person who's making the advance, you're thinking, oh man, it's all good, I hit a lick, I'm good to go. But in actuality, you're being set up. So you got to just be careful even when you approach someone. You don't want to just go head first into a situation. You want to still be cautious even though you're somewhat approaching this person for an intimate relationship. So she's being nice because you're still an officer of the law, but she probably was in her head formulating, how am I going to get this guy back? How am I going to get these officers back? And now this dude may lose his job, the city may be sued, all this because he thought he was going to get a nut. He did get a nut, but it was the wrong kind. And that's why so many people fall victim, and it's because they're not thinking. You got to take a step back and look at the situation and just think, okay, is this person worth approaching? What kind of day are they having? Is there something that I did directly or indirectly that caused her some type of grief or harm? And if the answer is yes, chances are you might not want to talk to her. You're so focused with the blinders that you don't see the bigger picture or the possibility you could be used, and now you've fallen into a trap. So we definitely got to think about the future when making these decisions and not just jump head first thinking, oh, it's my lucky day, when in actuality it might not be your lucky day, maybe someone else's. Thanks for watching. The Black Balance Network. The Black Balance Network is a cooperative of Black content creators that provide opinions and commentary. We're all about supporting the individual, collective, and community, as well as supporting businesses and ideas to the grassroots level. The group includes Business Minded Talk, D. Durrell, Faith, Ray the Awareness Channel, and the Screen Learning Channel. Be sure to check us out, and we look forward to providing you with great content.